After World War II, the world split into two distinct spheres of influence. The United States and its allies formed the capitalist West, promoting democracy and free market economies, while the Soviet Union dominated the communist East, advocating for a state-controlled economy and a single-party system. Both sides mistrusted each other deeply and competed fiercely for global influence and dominance. Tensions were perpetually high, and the ever-present threat of nuclear war loomed over the world. Germany, defeated and divided, became a central focal point of this intense rivalry. The country was split into East and West Germany, symbolizing the broader global divide. Berlin, though located deep inside East Germany, was also divided into East and West sectors. This city within a city became a microcosm of the Cold War, representing the ideological battle. The Soviets sought to expand their influence across Europe and beyond, while the US aimed to contain the spread of communism through various means, including military alliances like NATO. Each side supported different ideologies and political systems, leading to a stark contrast in lifestyles. This fundamental difference fueled the rivalry and led to numerous proxy conflicts worldwide, from Korea to Vietnam to Cuba. The situation in Berlin was particularly volatile, with frequent protests and standoffs. East Germany, under Soviet control, faced significant economic struggles and a mass exodus of its citizens to the West. This exodus, particularly of skilled workers, threatened the East German economy and served as a major propaganda blow to the communist regime, highlighting the failures of the system. Berlin, divided by the Iron Curtain, was a city of stark contrasts. West Berlin, supported by the Western Allies, flourished as a beacon of freedom and opportunity. East Berlin, under communist rule, lagged behind economically and politically. For East Germans, West Berlin was an escape route to freedom. Millions fled westward, seeking better lives. This mass exodus embarrassed the East German government and threatened its legitimacy. The Soviets and East Germans grew increasingly concerned about the situation in Berlin. They saw the open border as a threat to their authority and a drain on their resources. Something had to be done to stem the flow of refugees and secure their hold on East Germany. In the dead of night on August 13, 1961, East German troops, acting on Soviet orders, began sealing off East Berlin from the west. This marked the beginning of a new era of division and tension in the city. Barbed wire fences were erected, streets were torn up, and checkpoints were established. The once bustling streets of Berlin were now scenes of chaos and confusion. The Berlin Wall, a physical manifestation of the Iron Curtain, had begun to rise. It was a stark reminder of the ideological divide between the East and the West. The construction of the wall shocked the world. International headlines captured the disbelief and outrage of people everywhere. Families and friends were separated overnight. The wall tore apart the social fabric of the city, leaving many in despair. What was once a permeable border became an impenetrable barrier. The wall stood as a formidable obstacle to freedom. The wall quickly became a symbol of Cold War division and oppression. It was adorned with propaganda posters, reinforcing the divide. The Berlin Wall was heavily guarded by East German border troops. These soldiers were a constant reminder of the ever-present threat. They were under strict orders to prevent anyone from crossing. The checkpoints were scenes of intense scrutiny and control. Many attempted to escape and some succeeded. Their stories became legends of bravery and determination. However, many others were caught or killed trying to cross the heavily fortified barrier. Memorials stand today in their honor. The wall became a physical and psychological barrier. It not only divided the city, but also left deep emotional scars on its residents. The international community reacted with a mixture of outrage and apprehension, as the Berlin Wall symbolized a stark division not just of a city, but of ideologies. Western leaders condemned the wall as a violation of human rights and international agreements, calling it an affront to the principles of freedom and democracy. The U.S., under President John F. Kennedy, increased its military presence in West Berlin, sending a clear message of support and resolve. This move was intended to reassure the citizens of West Berlin and deter any further aggressive actions. The crisis escalated tensions between the superpowers, bringing the world closer to the brink of war. The standoff was a critical moment in the Cold War, highlighting the precarious balance of power. However, both sides exercised restraint, recognizing the catastrophic consequences of a direct conflict. Diplomatic channels remained open, and negotiations were pursued to avoid a full-scale war. The Cold War would continue, but the Berlin crisis served as a stark reminder of the fragility of peace. The wall stood as a physical and ideological barrier, a constant reminder of the divided world. Kennedy's speech resonated deeply with the people of West Berlin. His words provided hope and a sense of solidarity in a time of uncertainty. He pledged America's unwavering support for their freedom and condemned the wall as a symbol of communist tyranny. His commitment was clear and unwavering. The speech became a defining moment of the Cold War, reaffirming the West's commitment to containing Soviet expansionism. It was a powerful declaration that the fight for freedom and democracy would continue.